Yep. Ready.
All right, word up, word up, word up. Late ill kid at OneYoungsta holding it down, bringing that street geek and nerd soul. What is up, my people? Today, coming with another wonderful episode of Yes, That Is Right. You best believe it. You best receive it. Man, NERDSoul. We're here to talk about the one and only Lovecraft Country. And I'm not by myself. I am joined right here to my right, your left, whatever it is. Of course, the one, the only Pulitzer Prize winning Nate Miller. What's up?
What's going on? Cool episode this week. I'm really glad we get to be together to break it down.
Down below, Times Man of the Year, Forbes 30 under 30, Clement Bryant.
30 under 30? I'm over 30.
Well, you got the award before you was 30.
Please. Anyways, what's good?
Chilling, man. So Lovecraft Country episode 4. Yes. Episode 4.
Yeah.
All right. So I'll say this.
Sure.
Not only do we have questions, but the writers have done some interesting things, and they've definitely put the pressure on themselves because I want answers.
Yeah, I'm feeling the same way.
I want answers, and yeah, I think I'll leave it right there. I want answers. But I'll of course leave it to you guys and let you guys, get into it. Nate, how you feeling after you came out of this episode? How are you feeling?
It was good. I liked it a lot. I liked the Indiana Jones vibe.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with your sentiment that we got a lot of questions, but I also think we got a lot of answers. And even the questions that we got, to me, these are like intriguing questions. These are the questions I want to be asked.
Okay.
So yeah, I really like this episode. I think it was paced a little bit better than the last one. I think it also did a much better job at meshing the overall theme of the episode with the kind of historical educational themes that it also tries to portray. The whole thing with the museum and talking about Titus like pillaging these different societies and like the museum literally being built on the dead bodies of these indigenous people that they stole from. I think they nailed it in terms of like meshing the themes together very cohesively and very naturally. And I think the pace was really good, and it especially with the end, I really can't wait to see the next one. Like, we already know that the 5th one is where like people have been saying stuff like really cracks off, but now I have no doubt. Like, I'm expecting pure fireworks next episode.
Yeah, because I guess I'll tease a little bit at the end. What we get at the end, I'm like, excuse me? I was like, oh, excuse me? Is that what we're saying? But I agree. This is another episode where we have, in a very cool way, we have an Indiana Jones episode to add to our catalog of cool. Okay, so we've got Survive the Night, kind of monsters terror. We've got the Magic House. We've got the Haunted House. And now we have like this Indiana Jones kind of deal where I'm like, yo, they're really handling all these kind of subgenres inside of this one story in a very good way. But with that said, I think they did an awesome job of incorporating Hippolyta and her, and her, how should you say, trepidation about the whole crew and how she's looking at them sideways like, I don't know about y'all. Because I still don't know if I trust everything y'all been saying. And the way she kind of gracefully handles how they're handling her is something that I thought was very telling of her kind of like attitude and her stature, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to the show. And also I like the fact that she hasn't blown up yet. I do think the blow up's coming, but she hasn't blown up yet. I am worried for her because when she saw the map and everything and, you know, made the U-turn, I was like, yo, you know your kid is with you. Like, you know, it's not like you ain't going off on your own. Mm-hmm. Your kid is with you. So whatever you about to get into, you dragging your child into this. You know what I'm saying? Uncle George would go by himself. He wouldn't bring his child into this. You know, it could be dangerous, extremely dangerous. But, you know, I'll back up for a second, you know, see where you guys are coming with it.
I mean, I think that's fair. She also doesn't have the context that we have, right? To know how dangerous it is. So
yeah. Well, I mean, she does. Yeah. I mean, she still knows, as someone who's making these green books, she knows at the very least, you know, Black people die out here. You know what I'm saying? Black people died out here just for, you know, taking a trip. So I don't know. It's just, I mean, I know sometimes you have to travel, but this isn't something particularly that she has to do. So it does present an interesting danger. But we did get a clip of them on the trailer, like the second trailer, I think, out there at that restaurant, I think. But I might be wrong. But I think we got a little clip of them doing that. So if that's the case, who knows what dangers they might get into, or, you know, it might be a completely different experience for them, you know, as a whole.
Yeah, this episode, I think this episode was good. I think it did leave me a little cold at parts on certain parts. Mm-hmm. That said, I think, like they said, they did like really hit the theme on the head. They nailed that part, and they really nailed the whole Indiana Jones vibe all the way down to the music when they're in the pit later on in the episode in the elevator. So I think they did part, but some of it, like I was like, wait, what is this? What is this? Like, wait, you're referencing something that was 2 or 3 episodes back. I'm like, wait, I don't remember that. So it's like, I was kind of mixed about the direction of the episode. The whole use of the character tree in this episode kind of threw me off. I was like, why is he just lurking around? Is there like some sort of nefarious use for him in this episode? Because he was kind of talking, you know, I'm going to keep it family friendly, you know, the S word, but he was kind of going off on it, and to kind of invite himself on the trip, I thought, like, okay, y'all are begging for something to happen. And you already got Hippolyta and the daughter.
Yeah, Hippolyta was on some, like, oh yeah, he can come. Where everybody else was like, but it's her car.
And she also referenced it's George's car too. Like it was George's car, and that if it was him, he would help him out. And that's what I got from that scene, is that's the reason why she did that.
I got that too, but I was also like, damn, more people?
Like, yeah, we don't got time for this.
We don't got time for this. And then also, you know, what if he finds out? He's gonna complicate the situation.
Yeah, because he's stupid. So he's a perfect example of what I would call a funny style dude. I'll say that.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Now, quick to the chat. I want to give a shout out to Kibi23. Hassan came through. Tyler Bennett in the house. Cassandra Sellers. Kibi23 says, right, she needs to plan accordingly for whatever road trip or journey she's looking to cover.
I agree with that.
Another good point. Y'all ain't got no changes of clothes. Y'all ain't got no food packed. Y'all ain't going to just be able to stop anywhere and get whatever y'all need, because you know you make the green book. So it's like you ain't just going to be able to stop any old place. You know, you just got to be more careful. But
let me inject a
I
theory
also
here
understand the anger inside of it. Oh no, go.
No, I was gonna say I think she might have like some sort of attraction to magic the same way that Tick does, because y'all saw that she stole the ornery early on.
Sure did. And I was about to get into it. So yep, she straight took that joint.
And then she understood parts of the map. So I think her understanding, she lightly understands parts of the map when her daughter showed her the map. So I was like, is there some sort of where she understands it kind of like innately, but she realizes she doesn't fully really understand it yet. Same way Tick, we'll talk about Yahima, but the same way Tick can understand Yahima out of nowhere. Like same kind of thing. So, but what were you gonna say, Nate? Sorry, what were we gonna say?
I was just gonna say, like, I was confused by the map thing too, but when I watched I just rewinded and watched the scene again, and I think she was surprised that the book was in the glove box, and then that the Devon County thing where they had last gone to was marked on the map. So her seeing it in the box and then seeing that marking, she's like, okay, because remember in the last episode, she's like, I know you guys are not telling me like what it is, and they're like, no, we told you everything, and she's like, no, I know you're not. So she already has a suspicion. Then finding out, more information she didn't have of it being in the car, and then this location circled of like, this is where we went. Like, of course she's gonna go. Like, I have to go find out. I have to get some answers.
Yeah, and speaking of the orrery, how y'all feeling about Christina this episode, man? Like Christina, she bossed up. She bossed up, even though I still don't like her, but she did boss up.
I mean, I don't like her, but I howled when she tried to walk into the house and the blood marking from the last episode was on there. I was like, I howled, I laughed. Me and my girlfriend were like, yes, you're over.
She was like, who helped you? She was like, who helped you get rid of? Because all I'm assuming is either A, she expected Hiram to probably kill them.
Right.
Or I don't know what she expected, but she came in like, so who helped you get rid of Hiram? You know what I'm saying? It's like, first thing, don't you come in my house asking me nothing.
Right.
And notice she didn't let her in here, and she was like, boop, close.
Peace. Get the F out my house.
Yes.
I loved it.
Yo, man, look, I even though it seems like Christina still found a roundabout way to get into the house, which I'll get into later, but that scene was nice. And then also seeing that there's this, and help me if I'm tripping, but this faction of, I guess, wannabe Order of Dawn lackeys that aren't in the Order of Dawn that want to be down.
No, they're another order in that.
Okay.
It's the order that Hiram set up in that area. Yeah, he's just not like an official member in the same way that she's not, but she's still like, it's like how you can be in the mafia but not be a made man. It's like the same thing. How like,
all right, I got you.
There's a certain rank that they can't attain, but he's still part of it. He's still kind of enacts their role, kind of thing.
Right.
Thank you, Nate. Thank you. This is perfect. This is a perfect example. See this. Hey, that's why you here. Help us out. Because when I was watching, I was like, so are y'all like groupie type wannabes that are just like, because so apparently like what's going down, but apparently you ain't invited to the party. So what are y'all like the like the chauffeurs of the real dudes or something? But
fanboys kind of thing.
Yeah. Y'all the fanboys. Oh man. And to the next thing with how she is almost, it's weird. It seems like she's in full control, but also she, meaning Christina, is in full control, but then also she even got to watch her own back.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing it's because, her dad's dead. So maybe, whatever protection she had is gone. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's the thing.
Well, she also pressed the dude. Like he said it. She walked in and was like, "Man, that's really awful. What happened in your territory?" And he's like, "You're gonna come in here and like just tell me the stuff that you did to me? Like I'm not stupid. You're not. Like, come on. I know."
Yeah, she was kind of she was holding them pretty hard when she rolled up in that joint. You know what I'm saying?
Just a bit.
Yeah, Kibi has a really good question in the chat too. There was that scene where when she's in the office with the cop dude, and she looks in the closet, and there's like a whimpering sound, and there's like somebody in there or something.
I think I don't know if we'll ever know.
No, they'll definitely. They wouldn't establish that without.
Like I don't know if there's a situation where we'll ever know, or if it's a situation where that was supposed to just be a commentary on the kind of people they are, where they're always, I don't know, torturing somebody, mutilating them. I don't know, but you could be right, Nate. They might be like, nah, we're gonna find out soon who this person
that guy's definitely gonna come back, setting up another character that Christina kind of has a somewhat rivalry with, because he wants to achieve the same rank as him, but he's a man at least. It creates an interesting dynamic for the character.
I love how
I'd be very surprised if that doesn't come back.
I love how she tried to be all on Letty's side with, we women, and we gotta stop the men. And so she was like, I ain't trying to hear that. My blackness trumps your womanness. Get out of here. I ain't trying to hear it. You ain't trying to help nobody. You fake gave me my dead mama's money. Do you know how manipulative? Get out of my house.
I mean, she deserved it. But also, can we talk about the part where she was playing hide and go seek with those kids, and the kid was like, "Have you never played hide and go seek?" And she's like, "No, it's my first time." I'm like, "Wait, what?
Nah.
Like, what is going on? Like, what is going on here with this?" So
don't trust Christina around your kids.
No, and I love how at the beginning of her entrance they started playing "Bitch Better Have My Money" from Rihanna. That kind of establishes why she's in this episode to begin with, and how it kind of plays in to her providing the funds to buy a house in the first place. I really like the way that the music cues are coming in.
The song choices in every episode have been awesome.
Yeah.
She was whipping the ride properly though.
She was
whipping the ride properly.
Down. Yeah.
I want to talk about the sad part for me in Ruby going to the store. I felt bad for her.
Yeah, I did too.
She walked in the store. She had a resume ready. She was good. She was ready to go. And she saw her sister in there already. And of course she alludes to it later, but they checked their box.
Yeah.
They got one. And what they'll do is they will pat themselves on the back for the next 5 years over that one person. Trust me. Believe me, they will.
Still happens.
Still happens.
So,
it was just really tough to see her be like, oh yeah, I'm just browsing, where it's just like, oh man, because we know what she wrote in there for. And then kind of seeing how it weighed on her later on in the performance, which was, she's had brighter days.
She just straight up was like, F y'all.
She was like, you know what? F y'all too, peace.
Bruh. The guitar pantomime in that scene is one of the worst things I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, come on, dude. And what's crazy is she does give an incredible performance this episode. And she's been very consistent over the seasons. Mm-hmm. But you couldn't have someone who plays guitar, like at least show her how to fake it, or like cast a guitar player for a guitar player part. I don't know. It was just maybe it's my fault because I play. Yeah, like you shoot it so you can see she's holding a guitar, but you don't shoot it so you can literally see her fretting and strumming, and then time it to music where it's not matching up. Like, I'm sorry.
Man,
maybe I just look too hard at it. It just pulls me right out. It pulls me right out.
I just kind of let that go.
I didn't want to bring it up because I didn't want to be negative about that episode. But I'm a musician, and that was one of the things I was like, I really didn't want to bring it up, but I was just like, this is kind of off to me. And it took me out until you see William again. And I was like, okay, cool. Now I'm back in it. But for however long that performance was, I was kind of picking it apart a little bit.
Well, see, for me, I wasn't really picking it apart. I was just like, dang, that girl, she having a rough day. Because that voice, maybe she needed some like tea and lemon or something. I don't know. Honey, I don't know what she needs. She needed help. But yeah, the hands, I was just like, let it slide. You know what I'm saying? One time, just let it slide.
But the actress is dope though. Let's settle on that. She's dope. She's dope as hell and amazing. So
she's just not a guitar player.
Nah. I also like how she threw up that statement to William, like, you think you the first white boy that came sniffing around here? Don't sleep. It's good over here. Let me let you know. Like,
and I'm like
my milkshake brings all boys to the yard.
Emphasis on all. But as soon as you saw him, I was like, oh no, they gotta get it. Are they going to really are they gonna do it?
Yo.
And then as soon as that music cue hit up, I was like, in.
Yo, on the steps though, like y'all couldn't like hit like a couch to go upstairs. Oh yeah, the blood thing was weird, which I thought was interesting.
Like,
that's normal for white people.
Yeah, that's normal for them. No, for real, that's normal for them. Like they always be doing like I can now. Of course, it's in other horror movies, but I can remember scenes of other like random horror movies where it's like, you know, someone gets cut and they like lick the finger or something. It's weird, but I do think in this episode there's something very important and distinct about her blood being spilled before engaging in this activity. We'll
I read
see.
it that way too, but I was like, also, is he getting his Edward Cullen on? Because I was like, what is about to happen?
Yeah, there is some kind of vampire-y clues there with the blood and like not being able to enter the house, and also like, you know, the connection George makes in the first episode to, you know, the Shoggoths and vampires. That being said, I'm not convinced that they are vampires, but maybe something adjacent, because we do see, you know,
or maybe it's part of a spell where, you know, he's able to like ingest her blood and like put a root on her or something. I don't know, man. Look, I
think they're just, I mean, even outside of the supernatural thing, it's a fairly traditional plot. You know, you have two siblings that are disenfranchised with each other because of a disagreement which was arbitrarily created. It's not even real. And now they're continuing to pursue that to drive a wedge between them, and there will be some plot of where the sister is going to be moving against them, and she thinks that she's doing the right thing or that she's doing her own thing, and her sister has been holding her back on something of that nature. But that's what they're building her up to use her as a tool against them, you know. Or it's just to get into the house.
Big shouts to Kiwi23 said, I'm wondering if William is the other creepy white chick. She shifts to get closer. Have y'all seen them in a scene in the same room yet? True. She said, it's Lil Mama and Bow Wow.
That's not nice.
Wow. Yo, man, that's foul, yo. That's foul.
I'm falling out of my chair.
That's foul.
That's hilarious.
That is funny, but it's
wow.
Yo, man, but I will say, you know, shouts to William. If William is regular William, you know, or whatever he is, William, he wasted no time. That boy went to town. I'll just say that. It's a family show, so, you know, much as I can, I'll just say, boy went to town. I mean, ain't that a house full of people? What somebody was like, whoo, had a hard day at work. Let me go in and come in this house. Whoa. Like,
whoa, Pornhub going on right now. What's going on? I believe
it's premium access. No, but,
don't even.
But with all that said, with the clip from next episode, I'm definitely down to see how much further she gets like entangled into this whole like web of craziness. But
we'll see.
I guess the only thing that I really want to focus on now, you know, since we got a lot of time here, is Letty. You know what I'm saying? Papa. You know, we don't know how Papa. We'll just say Papa, because I don't even know if you my daddy no more. I'm just saying, but Papa and Tick. You know, Tick like, yo, I'm gonna do this on my own. I got this. I'm fine. I don't need no help. I'm gonna do it all by myself. Which is like, yo, bro, look, like, yo, we can help each other. Like, we all went through this. I don't know why you don't have to carry this on your own. But it's like, nah, I got this.
That's a nice way of putting
my
it. She put him
man?
in his place.
Why,
She was
my
like,
man?
she's like, this is happening to all of us. This isn't
Thank
just
you.
happening to you.
Thank
And
you.
I didn't read it correctly, but then I watched it back. I was like, oh, she's talking about this whole thing and this whole experience of being with him.
Yeah.
And once I reinterpreted it correctly, I was like, oh, okay, she's right to put him in his place like that.
Like, I could see him feeling responsible because it's his bloodline, but for him to just be like, y'all, just stay back. I got this. It's like, well, yo, man, look, now they're traumatized as much as you are. You know what I'm saying? They done seen, cops get their head bit off. They done, seen snake in the pants. They done been shot, killed, chased off, all kinds of craziness. You know what I'm saying? Goats getting killed, heads coming up out the cement. You know what I'm saying? It's like, look, we all see some stuff now. So, it's not just you. And even if you're trying to kind of like keep us from it, to kind of like protect us, which I understand, you could go about this in another way. Kind of like another way, like, hey guys, look, I know this is really about me and my bloodline. If you want to come, thanks, but I don't want you to feel like you have to. That I wouldn't be mad at that approach. But his approach is like, step back, move, I got this. Oh, and big shouts out to the kid in the library. He was hilarious.
That little kid in the library, that's me. That was literally me.
He's like,
reading Journey to the Center of Earth. Can you shut up, please? I'm trying to read my book.
I'm trying to read. Right.
Push his glasses up.
I will say the way that I interpret Tick's being kind of like his whole man vibe is trying to get it. I think it comes from Montrose, because Montrose is kind of acting in the same way, but also out of fear for Tick and his family. So I think that's where Tick gets it from, because Letty does say, like, now I see where he gets it from. You're an asshole, just like your son is. Still, we're kind of like, that's not the exact quote, but that was the quote that
that's what she was getting to.
Yeah.
And
I didn't even look that deep into it as much as I just thought it was a really good examination of, what I call main character-itis, where you have stories where obviously they're written either from the perspective or kind of for the main character, and there's a lot of people that are involved in, and whether it's good or bad through the actions of the character and the plot or whatever, but the story still only focuses on the main character. So I thought this was a really cool, in the same way that we're breaking down a lot of Lovecraft tropes and flipping them on their head, instead of it just being the man's journey to find his bloodline. Like, no, your family is involved. Your dad was kidnapped too. You originally had to find him. He's involved. Letty also had her own thing with the house and a whole bunch of other stuff. So you're all in this together at this point.
And she got the car, man. She ran. She was in a horror movie, ran, didn't trip, and got the car. Come on, man. Like, yo, you got to give her props for that.
Right.
Because if it was someone that looked like Christina, she would have fell. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I would just leave it right there. She would have.
No, you're right. Bryce Dallas Howard in Jurassic World.
But I do like that they had their moment to fight it out during this whole like trip to the museum / night at the museum / Raiders of the Lost Ark. But at the end, he grabbed. He was like, "Come here, girl," and they kissed. It's like, word. You know what I'm saying? This is now y'all a team. Now y'all on board. Hopefully, you know what I'm saying. Now y'all a team. Because Letty is like, yo, like this is us. We here. You know what I'm saying? We doing this. You know what I'm saying? And I like the fact that you finally see him saying, all right, cool. Because she swam and got the little scroll. And I'm trying to remember this correctly. Did the father have the scroll last when they let it go in the water?
I don't remember.
Because
I don't think so.
Okay, cool. Because I was just checking, because I was like, with the end, which we'll talk about later, with the end, and that I'm like, yo, he tried to lose that scroll.
But he's the one who grabbed the scroll to begin with.
Yeah, but of course he's people watching him, so he got to like kind of look like, yo, I'm on your side, because he's definitely not on his side.
You can look like you're on someone's side without just making a mad dash for the magic scroll.
We have to, I think. No, what were you gonna say, Mike?
Oh no, go ahead.
No, I think the one scene that really got me was the plank scene. Like it was just, I don't know if it was just me, but I was on pins and needle watching that scene because I can't do heights. Like can't do heights, and then you can't see on the other side where the plank is going. Like I
when they showed that little flashlight and it was nothing. I was like, yo, all right, hold up, yo, hold up.
I was like, I'm turning back. I'm going home. I'm going home. I'm like, and my girlfriend said something funny. She was like, I am too black for this show right now. I cannot be watching the show right now. Why? You know, black people don't be operating like this. So you're watching that scene, it happens, and then Letty gets on the other side, and you start to see the sight come down, and then the plank starts going away. Like I was about to have a heart attack during that scene. I think this is that one scene during this episode. I was like, I can't watch this show again. It was insane. How did you guys feel about that scene?
That scene was dope, especially when he told Letty that lie. Basically, he was like, "She out there, ain't she?" And to jump on that, KB23 said, "Oh, go ahead."
Well, when he said that, I was like, "That's not how Juneteenth went."
Right?
that's
not how it happened.
But
he said he was lying, so I gave him.
He was like, look, she out there, ain't she? She needed the gumption to get out there.
Before they even got there, though, I just have to say the whole opening the tomb with the moonbeam pointing to the exact crocodile tooth, like. Nah, I'm not buying it.
Really?
Really? It has to be so specific of what day it would be and what time for the moon. It's like and it's so easy to do the same thing without it being so specific.
Nate,
but they put so much effort into so much in this show, and then you're just gonna have like. And even if it was something like there's in the book there's a date like on this date or something, like then it's like okay, then they have somewhat of an idea, but just to randomly have the moon be in the right place and time for it to light up, like
the moon, and also, my brother, must align. Also,
how did he know?
For you to be able to enter.
But like, how did he know? He's just looking around while the flashlight. Then he's like, "Turn your flashlights off." I was like, what? Like, how did you know and interpret it that quickly to know, oh, wait, I need to turn my flashlights off so the moonbeam can come in and show us where to move the crocodile tooth or whatever. Like,
because your daddy be lying.
The flashlights also are not going to like inhibit the moon.
Right.
Like that moonbeam was so bright. The flashlights did not matter. It just made no sense. Now, my caveat is if we find out later that the dad already knew about that, all this stuff already, and he was just kind of playing dumb, then yeah, okay, it makes sense. But without that context, it makes no sense.
But I think we now know that his dad. I think
he knows some shit.
I think we know. I think we kind of know now.
Yeah, I just still think it's a little bit of a stretch to assume that him knowing some shit from reading some books equates to him knowing how to get into a secret temple.
Well, no, I think he knows even more than just reading the books. Like, I think he knows more than just reading the books now. Like,
because we'll find out. It's definitely implied that.
Yeah,
but there's many other shows and movies where they do kind of like the moonlight or sunlight beam thing. I'm gonna let it slide. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let that slide. But they
explain it. But then, like Indiana Jones, National Treasure, they explain why. Okay, A plus B equals C. They explain it.
There's a trail of research and this.
Well, we probably going to get
there's trial and
episode
error
6 or something like that.
That
you know what I'm saying?
Like this for me. Like this for me was A to C to all the way to Z. That's how I was like, wait, what? So, and like, I don't want to hate too much on this episode because I'm a really big fan of the director, Vic Mahoney, who worked at Ava DuVernay. So she's really dope. She was, I think she was the second unit director on, was it Force Awakens? I think I can't remember, but or was it Rise of Skywalker? I think it was Rise of Skywalker. Now that I think about it, but she's really dope and she does really good water work in this episode, especially when they get to the pit, they get to the elevator. But I also was like, wait, what? And I'm not sure if it's a question of direction or the story, the way that the story was interpreted in the script. But that's like me. I think me and Nate's the things that doesn't make sense about this episode for us. But
yeah. Big shout to QB23 said, I thought one of those released the Kraken monsters were going to pop up from below them on the plank. Yeah, I didn't know exactly what to expect, but I remember they said booby trap like back in episode 2 or something. So I was like, where the booby traps at? And then I was like, oh, here they go. See, I should have knocked on wood. Because I'd have been the one down there like, yo, man, everything seems cool. Where the booby traps?
Yeah, I wouldn't have been.
And y'all would have been like, Michael, shut up.
Like, I wouldn't have been down there in the first place. I would have been like, oh, word monsters, good luck with that. Peace, bye. I would have been at this joint in the first place. I would have ran. But
shouts to Tyler Bennett. Tyler Bennett said it was done when Indiana Jones did it too. So no, I
we will not stand for that blasphemy.
Nah, I'm not. Yo, I ain't.
Wait.
But Tyler, y'all gotta understand who Tyler is.
I gotta ask
Tyler does this.
But I gotta ask the question: are we talking Indiana Jones 1 to 4?
There's no 4. There's only 3 movies.
Yeah, there's 3.
There is no 4.
3 movies.
About to be like,
there is no 4th
Kingdom
movie.
of Crystal Skull.
It's a lie.
Man, that Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, boy.
I don't want to hear la 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 la.
Man. Whoo.
Okay.
I went to
never happened.
I went to the theater on that thing, man.
I'm sorry.
Man.
Yo, that was my graduation.
You guys are
gift.
suckers. You didn't see the trailer and go, oh no.
Well, I figured no matter what, it's Indiana Jones, man. It'll be all right. Like, no matter what, it's Indiana Jones. It's going to be all right. And I was wrong.
I was okay with Shia LaBeouf back then because he was my Even Stevens dude.
He was kind of whack back then, too, though. Like, that's not funny.
He was
he was whack then, too.
Starting to get whacked. Yeah, that's when he was starting to get whacked. When he started talking shit about Steven Spielberg, I was like, okay, Shia, you get a little too big for your britches. But we get off the topic of Lovecraft Country. Yeah. Say about Shia LaBeouf. Anyway.
So, I like how they did the puzzle to get in the door. I like the water that kept rising, them referencing, points of like either Hiram or Titus or whatever. I like those points. And then we get up there in that over, I don't know, living room or whatever, or chamber. And when they showed that hand, and that I was like, if you move, so help me God. Don't you? But I would have been reaching like, don't you move? I swear to God, don't you move? I swear, don't you move? I'm gonna touch this paper and you stay where you is.
I mean, they foreshadowed the way that the camera kept panning back to the hand and it stayed there for a second right before it got it. I was like, she's gonna reanimate. Something's gonna happen with her.
Yep.
And when it did, it wasn't just like, oh wait, the hand's kicking. No, she fully damn reanimated. Like I was like, oh, okay, what's about to happen here?
And then homie made sure you ain't gonna be snitching on me. Cause if you find a way to get out of here alive, guess what? You ain't even gonna be able to speak. You know what I'm saying? And then her daddy, Tick's daddy made sure she wasn't going to be able to speak anyway. But that was the moment between Tick and I can't remember the young lady's name. Clement, you said it, but the woman that reanimated. I really like that story and that exchange between them two because it's like, yo, so Tick just knows this. There's more. It's of course Tick is he's the lead character. It's always going to he's the one. So it's always going to be like some kind of power that he didn't know he had or something like that, and so it's going to come out in a special way. So I thought that was cool.
I would have liked if he spoke the language back to her instead of it just being like you don't like it. You don't I wanted to see more depth into his understanding of the language. Does he just understand it and can speak it back and talk to her in his native tongue, or is it he goes both ways with him?
I assume it has something to do with that ritual thing that he went through, but the reason why I wouldn't want him to speak it back to her is because to me that implies more of a literal he understands and speaks the language, whereas her talking to him and he just understands it and then he doesn't understand why they don't understand it. It's because he's not hearing the language, he's hearing it in English. And then he's just saying to them what he's hearing, right? Because initially they're like, what is she saying? And he's like, you guys don't understand? What do you mean?
Like, you
She's
can't
speaking
hear
in
it?
English. Yeah, so that struck me as a magic thing. And so that's why when then he just starts talking to her and she understands, the magic is translating and he's just kind of like trying to figure it out. But
And
I assume it has something to do with the blood, maybe even the door mechanism or something like that.
Yeah, that's fair.
uh,
There's a lot of reactions to Yahima on Twitter though. Like people were like, "Why did they fridge her? Everything else? Why didn't they refer to her and the proper pronouns and everything like that?" Because she was the interpretation of both the man and woman spirit. From the way that I remember
They
the
refer.
episode.
They
also,
refer
it's
they.
the 50s. Yeah. It's the 50s.
Yeah, but they still do.
They don't know nothing about that. We try to put 2020 Twitter on the 50s. Come on, man.
Disagree.
They ain't know nothing about no pronouns.
In the show, they literally refer as they them. Tick and
excuse me.
Montrose do.
Yeah, but it's like sometimes I think we expect, what I'm saying, it to be a little too woke. It's like, but like, of course, Tyler Bennett is like, yo, well, we're going to ignore. No, I thought that was interesting. And I think that's going to tie into, like you said, I'm the spirit of both, AKA Letty and Tick. So I think that's where we're leading. I guess. I don't know, but I'm thinking where we're leading is, in one person, they had the man and woman in one person here with this lady that, was dead, came back, and then of course got killed again. And then now you got Letty and Tick that, they're, of course the man and woman spirit. I think they're trying to create a parallel there. Maybe. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, we got a great peek into the deeper psychology of the Sons of Adam with, their speech about Adam. Like, Adam named, Eve fucked, God brought forth monsters, monsters devour. I'm reading a quote. Monsters devour.
It's a quote.
God smites Eve, right? So like,
yeah,
you're getting it talks about how Adam named, Adam did his job. Meanwhile, Eve just messed everything up. And then God brought forth the monsters. I don't know if you guys didn't pick up on this. That's us, the black people. We're the monsters. Yep. Yeah. The monsters devoured, destroyed things. Yeah. God smites Eve, right? So it's this very patriarchal, anti-woman, non-white society that is deep. And I think that symbolism of the man and the woman, just like with Adam and Eve, is going to be prevalent with, I agree with you, with Tick and Letty. I think something of them coming together, whether it is like some romantic union or just working together, is what's going to be the ultimate answer that he can't do alone, or even like Christina can't do alone.
Yeah, and I do like the fact that in that elevator, you got that moment. It was like, "Come here, woman." You know what I'm saying? And
but even before,
because
it was very Indiana Jones end of movie.
Yes, it was very Indiana Jones.
Very much so. Very much.
It was good. It felt natural, but it was very
and it felt earned as well. They've gone through their ups and downs. Yeah. We knew there was an attraction when they were younger, maybe a little crush or something, and now they're adults and they're able to kind of like, kind of go through their emotions and process and all that mess. And you know what I'm saying? He was like, "Girl, I love you, girl." She was like, "I love you too." He was like, "Yeah,
man."
All right, maybe it wasn't like that.
Oh man, I was gonna say, shout out to KB23 in the chat. She asked about basically like, how in the world did her dead neighbor get down there? This building is connected to her basement, really? And that's I like how this episode linked back to that one, because now we were talking about last week. Does she know that they went missing or not? Those three.
And now she know.
And now she knows what happened. I don't know if she knows in depth, but she knows some shit happened.
When I saw that elevator, I was like, now look, I know magic's involved because Chicago and Boston are not close. And that is some true tunnel digging for your ass. I'm just saying, from someone who has driven probably the same distance, but just south to north, Chicago is probably, now probably a little bit faster, but Chicago is still probably like a 12 or so hour drive to Boston.
It's a hike.
So digging a tunnel, which looks like it's like, I don't know, dug by hand. That's some true digging.
Connected.
But with magic, you know what I'm saying, you can play with portals or something. Because when that elevator came down, I said, I know y'all ain't about to tell me.
It's connected to Chicago.
We're going back to Chicago.
And then you had that scene with Hippolyta in the car. She's like, how did they get back to Chicago?
You're going to have to tell me something. Hippolyta, like, you're going to have to tell me something about this. All right? Because I know y'all ain't had no money to get back to Chicago. And on top of that, y'all back in Chicago before me. What did y'all take a plane? Y'all charter a jet? How y'all get back there? You know what I'm saying? It's like, look, nah, bruh. We need house meeting. Yeah. House meeting. We all need to talk and round it up. What happened to my husband? How y'all get back to Chicago? Listen to all this stuff.
Man, I think we're rapidly approaching that scene between all of them being like, y'all want the truth. I have this golden honorary here. Y'all made it back to Chicago. I know George's death is y'all are hiding the truth. I need answers. The same that we're looking for answers, she's kind of like us in this episode being like, what is going on?
Yeah, and it's also like, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Not you.
I was just say, it's critically important too that we learned, not only does Hippolyta have the ornery, but that's the whole reason that Christina wanted to get into the house was to get access to the ornery, which apparently is a key to a time machine. Yeah, it's just casually dropped in conversation.
Question.
Yeah,
I was like, wait, what?
I was about to bring that up. Those were the weird things. Two weird things to me. Well, not really weird, but just like, hold up, what? Because we brought up time machine, and then of course Montrose at the end, like he was walking in there, and KB23 said, like, hold up, where we about to go with this? Because I thought it was going to be, you know what I'm saying, some Barry White going on. Nah, he was like, I'm sorry for this. Click up. I'll wait and see. What do y'all think about the whole reference of the time machine? And then what do you think about the slitting of the throat?
Okay, I'm going to work backwards because the slitting of the throat, really, I wasn't as upset as a lot of people were because I went to like search reaction on it because I was like, word, it's like that. This is what we're doing now. And a lot of people, like I kind of inferred earlier, were like mad about fridging, what is essentially non-binary person in this episode in the 50s. So a lot of people were mad about the fridging. I interpreted that scene as Montrose is scared to death of Tick going any further than he has. And because every episode he's like, stay the F away from this place, stay away from all this magic, stay away from everything. So I think this is a way of one, hiding the secrets that he knows about, and two, keeping Tick and Letty away from them from going further.
All right.
Now, wait, go
ahead. Interesting when you were talking about, the whole thing with the only non-binary character. The character was already dead, y'all. Stop it. Like, I feel like y'all trying to reach on this one. Character was dead. Character was already dead, man.
People were just like...
Because it does happen. It definitely does happen.
Yeah, it does
But I don't think this is a case of that. That person was already dead. Like, they were already dead. I mean, I guess they're re-dead, but I mean...
I think actual dead? Like, yeah.
I feel like I feel like people like to reach on that. I feel like people wanted to reach on.
You're doing the Nate reach. You're doing the Nate reach right here.
Hey, that's copyrighted. Okay.
Okay. All right. So I'll take it back.
My check.
Take it back.
Nate reach. But no. So yeah, people were upset about it, but like we also don't know if it was like actual real death because she is technically of a magical world, so we don't know if
undead
it's real
sort
death.
of.
We don't know what's gonna happen. So that's my thing. And then what? You want to talk about the time machine too?
Yeah. I
was like, wait, okay, so wait, we have Sons of Adam, we have Ornair, we have Shoggoths, we have vampirism, we have everything, and now you're dropping. Oh wait, now there's a time machine, and I'm like, okay,
somewhere that we don't even know about.
Please,
somewhere.
Honestly, I love the show, but I need the show to kind of slow down a little bit so I can catch up to everything that's going on, because now I'm like, great, now there's a time machine that I have to catch up on too.
I'll just say this. I think it's kind of interesting that we're in this world, because I mean, just like normally if something was to happen to you say if this was happening to us, we're three people, say this was happening to us in real life, we wouldn't get a chance to sit down and get downloaded on everything. They'd be like, no, yeah, we got a time machine. It's in, the time machine is in Japan or something like that. And yo, why would we tell you about that? Or so I kind of
also
like
that. it was in a conversation between two people who obviously are familiar with it, so it's not like it required exposition.
Yeah, right. They're like,
now I'm just like,
no.
Yeah, they know, but now I'm like, what? Time machine? Okay, now okay.
I think it makes sense. There's a theory going around online, especially after the last episode, that Tick is going to go back in time and save George and Pop in Tulsa. The guy in their dream that saves them with the bat. Some people also think that it might be the daughter as well, since there is that scene where they talk about her practicing her swing. The time travel thing, time travel is it sounds like super big concept, but it's in terms of Lovecraftian horror stuff, it's pretty small concept. It's like
one of the mills,
and you change things, as opposed to the cults and cult leaders and spells and all the other stuff that is going on. But I was totally expecting this to happen at some point, especially just with that intro. We got aliens and demons and dead old gods, and then Jackie Robinson comes out of a spaceship. I was like, we're gonna get everything. We're gonna get the whole sci-fi gambit.
Yeah.
It only makes sense to include.
Big shout to Kibi23 said, I need to rewatch this episode again. So Hippolyta said they went back to Chicago because I also wondered why she left them. Yeah, she didn't leave them. Well, I guess she sort of left them, but she didn't leave them because they were already back in Chicago. So she just went home.
Yeah, they must have called and said, "Hey, we are back in Chicago."
Yeah. And because we can't come back the way we came.
Nor should you.
Nor should you come back the way you
came.
They're going back down there.
Oh yeah.
The tunnel that Tick thought that they should take was the only tunnel that didn't have a lantern hanging. So someone had already taken that lantern down. That's why he wanted to go that way. Good point.
So Nate, slit in the throat. Where you at with it? How you feel?
It's plot progression. We know his motivation. He doesn't want, he said several times throughout the series, he doesn't want this to continue. He doesn't want Tick to keep going. And the whole point of having her there, and he even says before he leaves with Montrose, is we got to teach her English so she can write down the words and we can translate the Sons of Adam so I can cast the spells. So he doesn't want that to happen. So that's why he kills her. I don't think that there even needs to be any other motivation, or is there? She's going. Okay. That's why he says, I'm sorry, I don't want to kill you, but I will do anything to protect my family. And I know that if you start translating this book, it's just we're just gonna get deeper. It's just gonna keep going.
Gonna get more and more crazy.
Yeah. It was kind of surprising, but as soon as he walked into that room and then walked behind her, I was like, oh no.
Yeah,
no.
I felt the same way. I was like, can we end the episode on a good moment? But no, I was like, really, Montrose? I was like, really?
Also,
but I understand why.
I want to say too, for that character, Yahima Marakoti, the Two-Spirit, that is definitely in there for a reason. There's lots of lines, even sub dialogue where the main character is talking about something in the museum, and the person giving the tour is going on and on about how they pillaged these countries and brought these things back, yada yada. So being able to flip, so much of Lovecraft horror relies on this trope of the white man adventurer going to the savage land and learning about their dark magic or whatever, right? So being able to flip that on its head and have it be the white man going to this country with his dark magic and his evil stuff that he wants to do, and then manipulating these people to try and get information from them, I think that was incredibly powerful. Just like how they exploit our people now, with pop culture and hip hop and fashion and all that stuff. It's the same. They're drawing a parallel because First Nation people and Indigenous people in lots of different areas. That's what happened to them. Countries look themselves more civilized. Came in and tore it apart, and then took their stuff home and were like, "Look at all this stuff that we found," and then they put it in museums.
Yeah, it's a perfect example of kind of you know, I mean, people have said it before. I've said it before when I was like real young in history class. We got a little piece of it in Black Panther when he was like, "How you think your ancestors got this?" And then here, she said it was given to him by the savages. Given, or was it please stop killing us? Take this, because it's probably what it was. Because Two Spirit said. Was it they had like this deep hunger or whatever, they you know, like they couldn't stop,
the basically. Hunger for knowledge, and
it's like they couldn't stop. So basically, you know, those things weren't given, but of course when people with guns, you know, get the opportunity to tell history, it was like, oh, this was given to us, was shared to us in such a benevolent way. It's like, no, you killed people and you took it.
Yeah.
Right.
The set design for that whole piece, from the tunnels to the elevator to like the door, and like also especially that last room, like it being a ship and the way that ties into like with the glass breaking, like it all makes sense logically, but also it was just really visually appealing, and I really appreciated that, because I mean,
I'll give you that.
I guess I wasn't really thinking about it until the glass started breaking, and then I looked at it, I was like, oh yeah, they're on a ship. It's some ship buried underwater that has this pocket, and that's why the ladder, like it all, like it just clicked like right away, and I was like, that's really cool.
Yeah, that was dope. That whole scene was sick. And then for me, and you know, I know I'll be coming with the theories every now and then. I might be tripping, but when Montrose slit the throat, I was like, when they kidnapped him or whatever, or when he was captured, did they turn him? I wonder if they turned him without him knowing he'd been turned. So he's kind of like, you know what I'm saying, like being activated when certain things happen to keep Tick from basically going farther than where Christina is. Because remember, now technically, Tick is further than Christina because he got the pages. She don't. You know what I'm saying? So I was wondering if maybe he was in a position where, you know, maybe he's been activated because they turned him magically while they had him. But I could be tripping.
I don't know.
Before I talk, I want to hear what Nate says.
Yeah, I just completely lost my train of thought.
Sorry, bro.
What did you just say?
So what if when they kidnapped him, they turned him?
The kidnapping, right? Okay. Yeah. So I've thought about this theory as well.
Or captured him or whatever.
So first, I want to say, like, I'm not sure that it's a competition between the two of them, because Christina says, like, she wants him to find the pages. Like, this is part of her plan as well, is for him to find the pages. So it's not necessarily like she's not even going after the pages. She's trying to get the orrery for whatever that is for the time machine thing. Yeah. So I wouldn't view that as much as a competition. And as far as the dad, like, I've thought about that theory. You know, maybe they replaced him with a doppelganger. Maybe he's been brainwashed. Maybe he is not him at all. It's actually Titus, who's been reborn as a black man to try to be black or something. I don't know.
Jessica Krug represent.
With this episode,
wow.
I don't know. I just feel like there isn't, so far, we haven't really seen like a faction or a force that would be motivated to stop him from keep going. Okay. So I'm just not sure who would do this? Who, you know, all those guys are dead, the people who kidnapped him, right? And like there are other factions of Sons of Adam, but not the same one. So I don't know. I feel like that might be a little bit too easy of like actually he was brainwashed, or actually he was replaced. Like, I think he's a more nuanced character than that. I think he genuinely thinks that he's doing his best to take care of the family. But of course we know that he's making a choice that's going to hurt them.
Word.
And I will say, I thought of the same thing. And even like when we talk about his relationship with George and his relationship with his father beat him a lot, and then you find out in this episode that he might be gay, of what Tree kind of infers with Sandy when they're so like I kind of like am on the same wavelength with both of you. But also, did you catch the line when he burns the book, he says smells like Tulsa in the beginning?
Yeah,
that kind of brought it back to me a little bit. I was like, is he or is he not? You know what I mean? Is he some sort of plant for them?
Because I mean, that doesn't sound like something that a character that is pretending to be somebody else would say.
Yeah, and Kibi23 said he did say sorry in like a sympathetic way. So I guess I get where y'all are coming from. And then shouts to Cornelius in the house said for someone to have quote escaped from the captors, no one's really looking for him. And then I mean they shot his brother in front of him.
That whole house was blown up.
Yeah, I was about to. I mean, they shot his brother in front of him with no mention of, hey man, how'd you get out of where we had you locked up at? And I guess, you know, maybe that's another thing where it's like they figure
there's a scene where they catch them after they free him.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is no one was like, hey, how'd you get out of the jail cell or whatever. But I guess maybe they were just like, you've already served your purpose. So, you know, we got Tick here, so we don't really care about you anymore. Like your purpose was to get Tick here. And we got him here. So maybe they don't care about Montrose no more. You know what I'm saying? At least in that context, I guess. You know, I'm trying to think if I'm a kidnapper wizard man trying to get somebody's kid to I don't know. Look,
let me say this. I'll introduce this as a theory. What if it's not Montrose? What if it's Tick? You know how you're saying like not turned, but like he might be, you know, Titus in disguise, like Montrose is Titus in disguise. What if it's Tick? What if it's Tick? What if Tick is
like a future
some
Tick?
Sort of Trojan horse? Yeah, like no, Tick as himself. What if like Tick is like the living embodiment of Titus Braithwaite, like right now, as we're watching the show? Because there's a lot of weird stuff with him that still hasn't been explained yet.
All right, you know what?
It's been something that I've been like toying with.
You know what? You went deep on that one. You went down as deep as Jacques Cousteau on that one.
I don't know about that one. I mean, it's definitely possible. Nothing is impossible on this show.
Don't worry about it, Clement. We're gonna let your theories fly here.
It's not impossible. I just feel like there's not a lot of evidence for that. There's a lot of evidence for the contrary.
We're gonna let your theories fly.
Yeah, although if you're right, that's a hell of a prediction.
We're gonna let your theories fly.
I'm just stewing on it a little bit. I'm not too sure, but I'm like, maybe? I don't know. But
word.
Yeah.
All right, well, guys, with that said, that's it. This episode was crazy. I'm excited to see what happens next because there's a lot of moving parts now, and I like stories with a lot of moving parts, as long as we get answers. So big shout out to everybody in the chat. Of course, we got Kibi23, Hassan. We had Ethnic Radio Archive Reels.
Wait, did we talk about Christina and William?
Yeah. No, well, I mean, in what context? We touched on them.
I think
like
Christina
not
is William.
room.
I think they're the same person.
Yeah, Kibi23 brought that up, talking about they're not in the same room, like Lil Bow Wow.
Okay, just making sure we covered that.
But yeah, it's like, might be the same person. Maybe her trying to get the two spirit thing down. Who knows? Cassandra Sellers. We had Tyler Bennett, boy. Tyler, look, hey, we down. I'm gonna just because you the homie, so I'm gonna let some of your stuff fly. But big shout out to Cornelius, Lotus Scholar. Also, Akin Reed came through. CJ Rogers. I already said Cornelius. So yeah, and everybody who's in there lurking around, going to hit that thumbs up. If you like what you're seeing, hit that thumbs down. When you hit that thumbs down, you're going to have to walk the plank and get in the water. All right. So over here, you know what I'm saying? International Man of Mystery, Nate Miller, say what's up.
Yo, what's up, guys? Yeah, great review. This was fun. If you guys want to chat more, argue with me about whatever, you can find me everywhere at Dog Like Nate. It's dog with 2 G's.
What up? And of course, Tom's Man of the Year, right down below. Clement Bryant, what's up?
Man of the Year? Really? You got a lot of people again? No, I'm just kidding.
That was 2019.
2019. I mean, no. Twitter, Instagram, at Hunter Bryant. Follow me. You know the deal. Talking marketing, entertainment, comics, movies, and fitness, and just overall health. So follow me. There you go.
Yeah. And NERDSoul, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Check these guys out. They're awesome. Do dope stuff all the time. And then, of course, Lovecraft is dope, and see what happens. So, of course, thumbs up if you like what you're seeing. Thumbs down. Also, podcast so you can get your listen on. Make sure to share this to your folks. Don't forget about that Spotify music. And from us to you, we're just saying thank you for watching. We got some Arcatron beats coming for you in a second. And peace.
Later.
Yeah, thank you, y'all. Because on the real, everybody besides Tyler Bennett, no, I'm just playing. Tyler Bennett's dope too. We love all y'all. Peace.
Later, y'all.
Oh, man.